If you've ever spent an entire weekend just covered in sawdust, breathing in nasty chemical fumes, trying to strip one old piece of furniture, you know the feeling. It's frustrating. Well, what if I told you that that whole process, the sanding, the scraping, the insane mess, could just be gone? Okay, let's dive into the technology that's actually making that a reality right now.
We've all been there, right? You find this gorgeous antique piece, but it is just buried under layers of old, cracked paint and varnish. And your options have always been, let's be honest, slow, incredibly messy, and kind of hazardous. For any professional restorer or even a serious hobbyist, it is the single biggest bottleneck in the whole workflow. Just look at these numbers for a second. This isn't just a small improvement. No, this is a total game changer. An 8-hour sanding marathon on a maple dresser down to an hour and a half. That 5+ hour job on a detailed Victorian chair, just 23 minutes. And this isn't some lab theory. This is real-world data from tests on actual furniture. The difference is just staggering. And the cost isn't just about time. Every single time you take sandpaper to wood, you risk literally erasing those beautiful, subtle details that give a piece its value and character. You risk a blotchy, inconsistent finish. And of course, there are the health risks, the wood dust, the toxic fumes from chemical strippers. It just feels like there has to be a better way. And you know what? There is. We're talking about a complete shift in how we think about wood restoration. And companies like Chihalo are really leading the charge, moving us away from brute force and into an era of high-tech precision. So what exactly is this tool? It's a specialized laser, the kind Chihalo builds, that uses a super focused beam of light to literally vaporize coatings right off the wood. Now, the magic words here are no physical contact. The laser zaps away the paint and grime, but it never actually touches the wood itself, leaving that original grain 100% unharmed. And the science behind it is actually pretty elegant. It's really just 3 simple steps. First, you aim the laser. Second, the dark coating, the paint or varnish, absorbs all that intense light energy, and poof, it's instantly vaporized. And third, this is the brilliant part. The lighter wood underneath just reflects most of that energy so it stays cool and completely untouched. It's like an intelligent selective removal process. Now, this is all fantastic technology, but for a professional, it has to make financial sense. So let's talk about the return on investment, the ROI, because honestly, this is where it gets really mind-blowing. Okay, let's break it down, starting with time. On average, you're looking at saving about 3 to 4 hours for every single piece of furniture. Let's just call it an even 4 hours saved. Now, think about what that means. For every single project that comes into your shop, you get half of a workday back. What could you do with all that extra capacity? Now, let's turn that saved time into cold, hard cash. For a pretty modest shop, maybe one that processes about 15 pieces a week, that time saving translates to over $1,400 in labor costs saved. And that's not per month, that's every single week. The numbers just start adding up incredibly fast. And this right here, this quote illustrates the break-even point perfectly. For a business doing just 10 or more pieces a month, a standard 200-watt pulsed laser can pay for itself in just 2 to 3 months. That 200-watt machine is really the sweet spot for a lot of shops. And after those few weeks, all those savings go directly to your bottom line. But wait, before you go searching online for any old laser cleaner, there's a crucial detail you absolutely have to know. Not all lasers are created equal. And believe me, using the wrong one on wood can be a total disaster. The real secret is in the type of laser beam it uses. So here's the main takeaway, the most important thing to remember. You must use a pulsed laser. See, a pulsed laser on the left fires in these tiny, super short bursts. This gives the heat a split second to dissipate between each pulse, which keeps the wood totally safe. A continuous wave laser, on the other hand, is like a constant fire hose of energy. Heat builds up way too fast, and it will char the wood. For wood restoration, pulsed is the only way to go, period. And the benefits of using the right tech, the pulsed technology, are exactly what a professional needs. No charring, perfect preservation of those delicate carvings that sanding would just obliterate, and a wood grain that's left 100% intact. I mean, this technology doesn't just improve your workflow, it can actually open up totally new lines of business, letting you confidently take on those highly intricate, valuable pieces you might have turned away before. So, the big question is still on the table. Is investing in a professional laser cleaning system like one from Chihalo the right move for your business? All right, let's break down how to make that call. This table really makes it pretty clear. You're in the yes column if you're a professional working on valuable pieces, processing multiple items every week, and you absolutely need perfect, repeatable results while getting rid of all the hazards in your shop. Now, if you're a hobbyist doing just a couple of projects a year, the investment probably isn't going to be worth it.
And your best path forward really just depends on your volume. If you have consistent work coming in, buying the machine is going to give you the best ROI, hands down. Got a single massive project, like restoring all the wood trim in a historic house? Renting a machine might be your best bet. And if it's just one small piece, just hire a service that has one. It's the most economical choice. Okay, so what does it actually cost to buy one? This is where things get really interesting. Professional-grade pulsed razor systems from a specialist like Chihalo actually start at around $3,600. It's their factory direct pricing model that really makes this kind of transformative technology accessible for small businesses that are ready to scale up.
So at the end of the day, what we're looking at is a technology that is faster, it's safer, and it produces a much higher quality results. It fundamentally changes the entire economic equation of wood restoration. So the only real question left is, how could this transform your business?